I think one of the reasons why Christianity is so appealing to Western women is primarily because it's based on forgiveness. And nothing wrong with that. I'm not criticizing that at all, but I am saying that there is a certain draw to it. You'll notice that most women, other than Brittany Renner, would much rather convert to Christianity than any other religion, because Islam will hold them bitches accountable, right, from the jump. Whereas there's like single women's ministry, there's single mothers ministry, there's empowered women of Christ ministry. I don't know, whatever the fuck it is, right? There's always I've said this on several occasions, the prodigal son narrative is always going to be popular with tradcons for sure, but like certainly Protestant primarily evangelical Christians are going to be the ones who are going to be more accommodating, let's say, of female nature. I would argue that it primarily founded on female psychology. The church has become way, way feminized these days. So what are you sending me? Oh, that's fine. No worries.
Yep.
You can just tell me. You don't have to text it. We're all casual here, especially you.
Don't want to interrupt the greatness.
No, that's fine. No, I was gonna say is I think the idea of being marriage minded in the first place almost puts you in a beta male category by default. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. I'm not even saying it should be that way. I'm just saying that that's the way women will primarily view a guy who is like, I'm saving myself for marriage. Well, you're saving yourself till I'm 30. And then when I've had my fun, and if you're still around, I might want to have you jump through a few hoops to prove yourself to me. And then we can go and live happily ever after with 2.5 children and a golden retriever in the front yard. You basically you're categorizing yourself. I've met several guys who say, well, Rollo, I date with intent. Well, good for you, but you're going to be lonely until you're probably 32, until you're ready to accept the fact that like women want to have their hoe phase, for lack of a better term. They want to, they're not interested in monogamy until they've sort of tapped out exhausted all the resources, right? Or exhausted all their other options. So if Brock the bartender is unwilling to commit, well, don't worry. Tyler the Christian is going to be waiting for her when she's 30 years old, right? If that's you and you're okay with that, then you basically put yourself into a beta male category. You're good at providing. Like every one of the guys they're mighty men of Christ or mountain moving mighty men of manhood, whatever. Those guys who have the groups or whatever it is where they're, they have a prayer circle and then they go lift weights and they go barbecue, I don't know, prime rib or brisket, whatever. More power to you. If that's your thing, go do your thing, but you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Desexualizing yourself as a guy puts you at an incredible disadvantage. So, or not, I'm not saying you have to be like walk around with a heart on. I'm just saying like, if you're unwilling to embrace your own sort of animal alpha sexual nature as a guy that women instinctively understand, and you want to and replace that with I'm a good provider, I'm a martyr waiting to happen, and you should want to fuck me because I'm a martyr. Don't do that. Martyrdom is not game. Martyrdom does not get women wet. Okay. Same way as you never reason a woman into bed. It's the same thing. These guys they're doing the same game, by the way. Is like, I'm a good provider. I'm marriage minded. What is it? Dan Bilzerian's not a flex. I'm a flex, right? Because I'm sacrificial. I'm willing to sacrifice myself for the greater good of the Tao, right? I'm altruistic. Real men love Jesus, right? Real men pray every day. Okay, but what you're doing is you're essentially doing the same thing Excel spreadsheet guy does. You're explaining the game to women who don't want to have it explained to them. They want to play the game. They think that a flex is going on some 30 second to minute 45 reel on Instagram and explain what great guys they are. You're making the same list. I've got these qualities that women say they want, and so here I got it right here, and I just can't understand why these good Christian women are still being misled by these dark triad sons of bitches like Brock the bartender. Don't worry, she'll mature and wise up by the time she's 30. She'll want to get right with God, and she'll want to, then I'll be there. Then I'll shoot my shot. And you know what? She'll be happy to take it too, because you're going to be forgiving. You're going to, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it, girl. You know, you made bad, your prefrontal cortex wasn't fully developed.
That's why Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Now, if you're already playing a game in which you're already the loser, you've already lost the game, but you're still waiting for your turn. Well, Brock didn't have to wait. He doesn't have any there's no rules for him. There's rules for you. There's no rules for him. But you won't care, because if men were better, then women would be better, right? If Brock didn't exist, and if there were no dark triad guys, then women would be forced to like the good guys like you. No, that's evolutionary. They want the bad guy. It's called hybristophilia. That's why they they want to fuck rapists and inmates and political dissidents and mass shooters and everything else. It's carnal. It's evolutionary. It's not. There's too many instances of hybristophilia for it to be just sort of like this personality disorder. Okay. Like it's the same thing with the teacher student, like the female teacher, male student, statutory grape epidemic that's been going. What are we up to? We were up to 79 separate incidents of that in 2024. I calculated. Those are the ones that came to me on via Twitter or some other way. So when I was documenting all of those cases from February of last year to December of last year, 79 individual cases. All those girls cannot be fucked up in the head. All those women cannot. There must be damaged. All 80 of them? No, there's something that is evolutionary in that. Maybe it's because of proximity. Maybe it's because of the environment. Maybe it's because it's easier. It's like why are we fat now? Well, because we have easy access to high calorie dense food. That's pretty much you could say seed oils and sugar and okay.
Abundance.
Sure, I'm good. But you know what? If you couldn't, get Uber Eats to deliver it to you, then we have a much different conversation. But it's the same thing. It's maybe it's proximity. Maybe it's ease. Maybe it's just like women realize that there's a separate standard of justice for them than there would be for men, which is true. But it can't just be because every single one of them is damaged goods. Like I keep saying, it's like not every woman is a hybristophile, but only women are hybristophiles. So there is some truth to that. And so I think maybe we ought to explore that, Mr. Evolutionary Psychologist guy, instead of trying to turn incels into terrorists.